Hey there. If you are sick and tired of finding yourself in a situation where you are not able to attract high-paying clients consistently, then you're going to love what I have to share with you in this really short video, okay? My name is Desiree Stafford, and I help coaches, experts, healers, transformational leaders attract the right clients who gladly say yes on the spot. So I know what I'm talking about here, all right? Now, I'm going to give you as much as I can give you today in this video, and I'm also going to let you know if you want to learn more how you can do that later on. Cool? All right. So let's talk about the predicament you find yourself in right now. Because if you're not signing clients consistently, I get how stressful and how frustrating that can be, right? Because you are in a situation where you don't know where the next sale is going to come from, right? So there's a lot of anxiety sometimes when it comes time to pay the bills, and then you get yourself into these situations where you actually have to sign any client, sometimes the wrong client, just to make sure that you have some money coming in. And what that typically does is it puts you in this position, number one, that completely undermines your confidence, right? But it also means that you're working with people who are mentally and emotionally draining you, which then impacts your ability to actually sell to the right people, attract and sell to the right people, right? So long term, this has a real damaging effect on your business. It also means that you don't have peace of mind, right? You don't have peace of mind when it comes to your business. So that typically means that when you're with the people that you love, you know, your friends, your family, the person you're dating, the person you might be married to, whatever the situation might be, you're often not very present with them because your mind is so focused on, well, how do I bring in the sales? How do I make my business work, right? Or maybe you're just feeling disappointed a lot or frustrated or angry often, right? And so then that sometimes gets taken out on your friends and your family, right? It's just not a good situation for you to be in, and it certainly is not good for them either, right? So let's talk about how you can get yourself out of that, because I know that you're not someone who's going to sit around, you know, twiddling your thumbs when your business isn't working out, right? So what you are likely doing is trying all of the different strategies that are out there. Maybe you are, you know, posting on Facebook or on any social media platform 24/7. You're becoming this content machine, right? Maybe you're live streaming all the time. Maybe you're doing webinars over and over and over again. And maybe you've invested in a couple different programs, and yet your results are really not shifting. Still not able to attract people who can afford you consistently. I totally get it, because I was there not that long ago, and it almost put me out of business, to be quite honest with you. It was a struggle. And I didn't understand what was holding me back because I was doing everything that I thought I was supposed to do, and nothing was really shifting. But things obviously have changed because I'm here talking to you now, and I'm able to help my clients get amazing results. So I want to share with you some of the things that help my clients turn things around in their own businesses so that you can do the same in yours, right? Now, I will tell you that when you find yourself in this situation that you're in right now, one of the biggest problems, aside from not making the money that you want and not working with the clients that you're really here to work with, one of the biggest problems is that it keeps you staying small. And I can tell you, if you're like any of the powerhouse clients that I work with, that is one of the most frustrating things that you're putting up with right now. Knowing that you are playing a game that is much smaller than what you're here to play, right? And so it makes you feel kind of tight. It makes you feel frustrated. It doesn't make you feel as powerful as you know that you can be, right? So we definitely want to get you out of this situation so that you can turn everything around, not just the business and the money, but also your entire life. Cool? All right. So the first thing that you really need to shift is your confidence in your offer, okay? Now, this is massively critical because if you are not selling consistently, the first place I'm going to look is at whether or not you feel confident enough to sell and deliver whatever your package is, okay? Typically what happens if you raise your fee or you're wanting to work with a higher quality client, that's the external stuff, like that's the conscious choice. But then internally, there are beliefs that are blocking you from allowing that to happen, right? Typically, it means that you're not fully confident in your offer. And maybe that's because you don't know what separates you from any other business coach or any other relationship coach or any other mindset coach or any other health coach, right? So if in your mind you're not clear, if in your mind you don't know why anyone would invest $3, $5, $10, or $20,000 to work with you, then guess what? You're not going to be able to communicate that to your potential clients. Make sense? And so then they're going to tell you that they can't afford it or they need to think about it, right? So you've got to become confident in what makes you different. So what I like to say is that you really need to understand what your unique combination of gifts, skills, and talents are, because that is how you decommoditize yourself. I call that your magic, right? When you know what your magic is, you can then decommoditize yourself. You also need to make sure that whatever programs you're offering are solving a specific burning problem for your ideal client, okay? All of that stuff works together because that is what's going to give you the confidence to both sell and deliver. Now, if what's holding you back in regards to your confidence about your package or your programs is that you're worried about some client who didn't get the result like way back when, you're going to have to let that go, right? Because the reality is, number one, you're not here to serve everyone, which is why you need to make sure that you have specific clients in mind who this program is for, okay? There are also some times when clients just don't do the result or don't do the work so they don't get the results, okay? These are some of the things that you have to consider, right? Because if you don't, and you keep carrying whatever guilt or shame or even embarrassment you might be feeling, then guess what? The clients you're actually here to serve are not going to experience working with you because you will block them energetically. Cool? So just think for yourself, how many times maybe you invested in a workout DVD and you didn't do the DVD. And so you didn't lose the weight, right? Does that mean that the DVD didn't work, or does that mean that you just didn't do the work and so you didn't get the results? I can tell you personally, that's happened to me a million times, all right? So understand that, sometimes the clients don't get the results because they don't do the work, right? Now, obviously, there are things that you can build into your programs. This is one of the things I help my clients do. There are things that you can build into your programs that will almost guarantee your clients get results. And we can talk about that later on if you want, right? But just know that you have to be willing to own your value, right? And also know that your value has nothing to do with the amount of time or effort you put into your programs, because those are arbitrary values, okay? But you got to know that you have to own the value. You've got to be 100% confident in what you're selling so that you can sell it. And also in your ability to deliver. Make sense? Because I can tell you, when you do this, it will literally change your life. I have a client who was a relationship coach, and she went from 3 to 15 clients in 12 weeks, right? Now, what makes this important is that she did it with ease, number one, but also she struggled for a year, barely booking any clients. And within 90 days, she had 15, okay? And she went from charging $3,000 as a relationship coach to charging $5,000. So if you think that the only way you can make money or charge high-end fees is if you're, a business coach, I just told you that's you don't have to be, right? You can be a relationship coach or any other type of coach and still make great money, okay? So what's the second thing? The second thing is your marketing, okay? When you are showing up online, you have to be able to stand out, right? But you're not going to stand out if you are being vanilla, if you're being bland, if you are being boring like everybody else. Meaning, if you're using filters, if you're toning yourself down, if you're worrying about what other people are going to think of you, all of that kind of stuff makes you bland. It makes you blah. It makes people skip right over you. And so people might notice that you know your stuff, but they're not moved. They're not compelled. They're not engaged enough to hire you, right? Which is why they'll get on the phone and they'll be like, oh yeah, nice offer, but I don't think it's for me right now. I need to talk to my husband or my dog or my angels, right? Or I can't afford it. And then they go and they hire your competitor. So your marketing needs to convey conviction. It also needs to convey a passion and a certainty for what you do so that your ideal clients know that you are for them. Right? But if you're hiding, if you're trying to be liked, it's never going to permeate. It's never going to let them feel you so that they love you and they find the money to hire you, right? What most people are trying to do, and I think it's a kiss of death, is everyone's trying to be liked. right? And trying to be liked, as I've just shared with you, doesn't serve you in your marketing. I can also tell you it doesn't serve you in your sales conversation, which is a whole nother animal, right? It doesn't serve you in your sales conversations, because in your sales calls, you need to be willing to ask the questions that no one else is willing to ask. You need to be willing to step in the pain with your prospect, and you've got to be there with them, not fall down into the well with them, but you've got to be there with them and help them rise above it. Okay? But you're not going to be able to do that if you're worried about them liking you, because you won't even ask the questions that you need to ask in the first place. Okay? Same thing happens when you're serving a client who's already engaged you. So when you're coaching a client, for example, right? If you're wanting to be liked, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to probe them. You're not going to hold them accountable. You're not going to challenge them in the way that you need to be challenging them so that they actually get the results. This is why so many smart people in our industry are failing, because they do not have the right support. Okay, which leads me into the third reason why you are not attracting high-paying clients consistently, and that is because you lack support. Okay, listen, we all need support to get to the next level. All right, it's just a reality, right? So think about the fact that you really cannot see, and I don't care how good you are as a coach or a mentor, you can't see what you can't see. Right? So you can't see all the little ways that you're still getting in your own way, right? You can't see the tiny little tweaks that need to be made to your marketing. You can't see the tiny little shifts that need to be made within your program to help your clients get better results, right? You cannot see the beliefs that I can see, right, that are holding you back. You can't. I can't see them for myself. Right? Which is why I have my own high-end coaches and mentors, right? And you need this because if you want to be able to command a higher fee, I should say, and work with high-quality clients, you need to grow, right? And the more you grow, the more your clients grow. It just increases your value. But if you're too afraid to get the help that you need, or when you have help, you're too afraid to ask directly, for what you need because you don't want to be a burden, right? Because you feel like you should know this already because it's what you do, right? Then you're not serving yourself and you're not serving your clients, okay? We all need support to get ourselves to the next level, okay? Whether you are right now making $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, wherever you are, if you want to get to consistent 20K or 30K or 50K or beyond months, you're going to need support. You can't get there by yourself. I didn't get to 70K months by doing it by myself. I support every step of the way, right? Every single step of the way I've had support. I could not have even thought of doing this by myself. Number one, I wouldn't have even had the vision that I could do it, let alone be able to then take the right action to do it, okay? So these are the three reasons why you're not making the money that you want and not attracting high-paying clients consistently. Only three reasons, all right? The first reason is you're not confident enough in your offer, okay? Second reason is that you're not communicating powerfully enough in your marketing. You're probably worried about being liked. You're tempering what you say. You're muting your voice, right? You're using filters. All of that stuff, no, you have to stop it, right? And then the third reason is that you don't have the right support. So you cannot see the little tweaks that you need to make, right? You don't understand what are those actual beliefs that are holding you back, right? You have to be able to have someone, help you get an objective opinion about what's going on, and also help you shift your perspective so that you can actually start making decisions and taking actions that are actually going to lead you to get to the goal that you have. Whether that's more money, whether that is the ability to travel, whether that's, being able to, have better quality relationships, whatever that is for you, right? I can promise you, if you continue to spin and try to figure this out by yourself, you're going to wake up 3 or 6 months down the line and nothing is going to change, right? I'm telling you that from personal experience, okay? I'm telling you that also, not only because I did it myself, but I've also had people, who had a session with me, said, yeah, Desiree, your stuff is great. Or maybe they went through some of my webinars. Oh yeah, great, great, great. And then they decided to try to do it on their own. And a year later, they came back and hired me. Why? Because they realized that they couldn't do it on their own. They couldn't do it on their own, right? So I just want you to understand what is actually stopping you, what is actually getting in the way of you having the business, not only that you want, but you deserve. Because I'm going to guess here that you've put a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of money into getting you where you are, and you're still not anywhere near where you thought you'd be by now, right? And so you get to decide, do you want to continue kind of hobbling along? Do you want to continue doing so-so? Do you want to continue making just enough? Or are you ready to make more than enough? Are you ready to allow ease? Are you ready to create the freedom that you say you want to have, right? Are you ready to work with the ideal clients, the kind of folks who are inspired by you and also inspire you, right? Are you ready for all of that? Because if you're not, you can continue to do what you're doing, right? You can continue to do what you're doing. But if you are ready for that, then you're going to have to do something about it, right? You're going to have to do more than say yes to yourself while you're watching this video. You're going to have to take the next step. So I will tell you that this work is so powerful. The shifts that I've shared with you today, I know that they seem simple, sometimes so simple that you might want to dismiss it, but I can tell you my clients are on fire because of these 3 shifts, okay? I've had a client recently just experience her first $9,000 cash month, which is her highest cash month ever. And a week later, so literally 5 weeks into working with me, she then celebrated her $17,000 day. Okay, I've had clients go from $4,000 months, and they were a struggle to get to $4,000 months, then turn around and have their first $20,000 sale. Why? They had 3 things. Okay, number 1, they developed confidence in their offer. I helped them see what their magic was, so they were able to decommoditize themselves from everyone else, right? And it also helped them have the confidence to deliver. Number 2, they started showing up much more powerfully in their marketing. So when you show up powerfully in your marketing, you're coming from this place of conviction. You're no longer apologetic about who you are, right? And what it is that you do. When you show up from that place, people feel you and they feel compelled to hire you, okay? And the third thing is they all had me, they all had support, right? Because I can tell you when you're up leveling, you need support, okay? Because it's a bumpy road, right? The work in and of itself is simple, but the up leveling, that requires some serious support, okay? So that's what I want to share with you today. I hope you got a lot of value out of this short little video. And if you do want to learn more, if you want to take things further with me, if you want me to help you, number 1, really identify what your magic is so that you have the confidence to sell and deliver your packages at the 3, at the 5, at the 10 or the $20,000 level, right? If you want to be able to show up more powerfully in your marketing so that you can actually attract the right clients, get the right people on your discovery sessions, right? And have them say yes on the spot because you've handled all their objections before they even got to the phone with you, then reach out to me, all right? Go to DesireeStafford.com/session to get yourself signed up, and we'll have a conversation about where you are right now and where you want to be and what it's going to take for you to get there. Cool? All right. So I hope you got some value out of this video. If you have, again, share it with people. Share it with anyone that you think would benefit. And if you're ready to take yourself to that next level, go to my page at DesireeStafford.com/session to get yourself signed up for a quick chat with me. Cool? And by the way, there is no cost for that session. I really do it because I care about you. I want to see you win. And I get that when you win, your clients win, and then they get to impact other people. And that's how we change the world. Cool?